Welcome to the Jody Mayberry Show. This is the show to help you market, mobilize, and master your message. I'm going to give you one small secret to get more attention. But first, I need to tell you a story to get us there. Recently, I spent the day at the Burke Museum on the campus of the University of Washington. The museum has incredible fossils on display. We saw a giant sloth, prehistoric whales, a saber-tooth, and all kinds of dinosaurs. But one fossil is missing, the Manus mastodon. The reason the Manus mastodon is not on display is unfortunate for the University of Washington, but it matters to you too. The Manus mastodon changed history. In Sequim, Washington, a man was digging a pit in his front yard to make a pond. And with his backhoe, he pulled up two tusks. Well, at first he thought they were logs. Turned out it was two mastodon tusks. They thought at first it was Mammoth, the man that discovered it, and his wife. Well, his wife was smart enough to run inside and call University of Washington because she knew they studied that sort of thing. Well, what happened when she called University of Washington? Not what you'd expect. It actually was a little worse than you would expect. After taking her call, the lady on the line came back and said everybody was on vacation. Everybody, the whole department. So the wife called Washington State University instead. Washington State University had someone on site within a couple of hours. This turned out to be a big deal because the Manus mastodon had a spear point in its rib. If I remember this right, it was the first time they had ever discovered proof that there was interaction between humans and mastodons. So it rewrote part of history. It was featured in National Geographic. It's been quite a story. You can look it up. Manus mastodon. Manus after the man that discovered it. And that one important fossil of the spear point in the rib, it's not on display at the Burke Museum at the University of Washington. It's on display at Washington State University. University of Washington missed a big opportunity because of the way they answered the phone. The phone is a missed opportunity for so many people. It's an overlooked marketing opportunity too. How often have you called a business or even another person and they seem so uninterested or even annoyed that you called, or they just don't answer the phone? But there's one often overlooked aspect of the phone that will get you more attention. I promise it will. It is not always possible to answer your phone. There's no way around it. So what happens when you do not answer your phone? Do you give people the opportunity to get to know a little about you, even though they didn't talk to you directly? If not, you're missing an opportunity, just like the University of Washington. Your outgoing message, whether on your cell phone or at your place of business, is the secret to getting more attention. When I say more attention, I mean in a good way, not in a, hey, look at me sort of way. There are times where the outgoing message on your phone will make the first impression for people. If this is the first impression, what does your outgoing message say about you? Let's listen to an example. Do you remember Jeff Knoll? Jeff spent 30 years at Disney, and he has been a guest on this show. I'm going to call Jeff's phone to hear his outgoing message, his voicemail greeting.
Hello, and thank you for calling. You've reached Jeff Knoll. You're getting voicemail because at the moment, something transformational and vibrant is happening that requires complete concentration. Expect a call as soon as it's over. And oh yeah, have a magical day.
Well, we've heard Jeff's message. Now let's hear from Jeff Knoll himself. I asked Jeff why it was so important to him to have a good outgoing message on his cell phone. Here is what he had to say.
Jody, truth be told, when I called you the very first time and got your answering machine, your voice message, I was like, wow, that is one of the best messages I've ever heard, because it was short, it was humorous, and it was very creative. And I thought, wow, I would love to, when people call me, to have something that at least is just a snapshot of what I do and how I do it, and not just get, hi, you've reached Jeff, please leave a message and I'll call you back as soon as I can. So anyway, that's what inspired me to do it. And it's such a great opportunity.
Know that.
Yeah, a true story.
So you said it's a great opportunity. What what opportunity is it? It's because it's just a short message people hear when they call you. How is that an opportunity?
Without going down a rabbit hole on customer service, there are stereotypes for everything, and there's good stereotypes and there's bad stereotypes. And one of the generic stereotypes, which is on the not so good side, is that answering messages are pretty nondescript. They're pretty bland. They're plain vanilla. And if you say that you are this or that, and you're trying to help people stand out, if you can't stand out in your, even just a little bit, you don't have to have the best answering machine message in the whole world, but it can't be just a plain vanilla. You should be attacking everything that you do with just a little bit of an edge that is different from what the normal stereotype is. It's just another way, one of hundreds, if not thousands of ways to differentiate yourself from all the other people out there. You know, at Disney, we say that people don't notice it when you do it. They'll notice it when you don't do it. So there's this real temptation that I don't want to do it to put the effort in because nobody's even going to notice or care. And you just have to get into the habit where you have to have this belief that the cumulative effort of all these little things that you do actually creates your brand and helps you stand out.
What a wonderful way to look at it. So what does it say to you if you mentioned you liked my message, but what if you had called and it had just been, this is Jody, leave a message?
It would have been just like I expected. And I tell people all the time that people measure customer satisfaction, and customer satisfaction is dangerous because all that happens when you're satisfied is that your expectations were met. And that's what everybody's aiming for, is meeting expectations. If you want to stand out, you have to exceed the expectations. And a lot of people think that exceeding has to be this bigger than normal effort. And I say exceeding expectations just has to know, if you know what the negative stereotypes are, as an example, you just do the opposite of what the negative stereotype is. And that will automatically gain you a little wow factor. People might not say wow, but they will certainly think it. They're like, wow, I didn't expect that. And that's the whole point of the wow factor, is it's surprising and delightful, but it doesn't have to be the extra mile. It can be as simple as and small as the extra inch, just completely unexpected, but fun and delightful.
This is what I like about you, Jeff. You have a different way of looking at things. And I know I keep calling it wonderful because to me it is. It is refreshing. It's different than how most people see things. But let's take it back one more step.
Okay.
If me just saying this is Jody, leave a message is what you would expect, what do you think when you get the automated robot woman voice that means they didn't even bother to set up an outgoing message?
Well, you know, these are little cues. Every touch point that a customer has with a business or a service is a touch point. And too many touch points that are plain vanilla, a lot of times we pick a business because we don't know what else is out there. But the minute somebody can come in as a competitor and offer, I talk to people all the time, Jody, and you can sense the ones that are giving it a little extra. And you can also tell that they couldn't imagine not giving it extra. It's just who they are. And I love working with people like that. It's a good energy. You know, you're dealing with somebody who is there to serve. And you can tell when somebody's going through the motions. And the challenge with this is when you're trying to hire somebody or buy a service or product from somebody and they claim to be, you know, excel at this customer service and their product's the best and they have these high ratings. And then when you actually interact with them and you notice these little things that are just average, they're just what you expected, it's sending messages to you, and maybe not even at a conscious level, that, you know, if I had a chance, I would jump ship in a heartbeat.
Your outgoing phone message seems like such a small detail, doesn't it? But don't underestimate what going the extra inch will do, as Jeff Knoll would say. The extra inch beyond where others will go will separate you from the average people. Average is everywhere. Below average is not hard to find either. I called someone the other day and listened to the message I heard.
I'm sorry, the person you are trying to reach has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Please try your call again later. Goodbye.
What does that message tell you? It says, I don't care if I talk to you or not. It says your message is so unimportant, I don't even want to hear it. Want to hear what average sounds like?
Your call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system. 407 is not available. At the tone, please record your message.
That is what people would expect. It is average.